You ever notice how some faces just stick in your memory while others seem to vanish? It's not just you, it's a real cognitive quirk. But here's the kicker. This little trick of the mind isn't just in our heads anymore. It's a hidden bias that's actually being built right into our technology, our data, and even our business strategies. And today, we're going to break down exactly how.
All right, so first up, let's talk about a trick of the mind. It's a hidden bias that's literally hiding in plain sight.
So let me ask you this. Why are some faces harder to remember than others? I mean, really think about it. Have you ever been in that awkward spot where you struggle to place a face? Maybe someone who looks a little different from the people you see every day? Well, that simple, totally relatable experience, that's the key to this whole thing. Okay, so this thing actually has a name. It's called the cross-race effect. It's a pretty well-documented psychological phenomenon where basically our brains are just wired to be better at telling apart faces that we're used to seeing. Simple enough, right? But, and this is a big but, this isn't just some interesting psychology fact. The story definitely doesn't end in our heads. And that brings us to data's unseen filter. This is where that simple little human quirk gets picked up and magnified. Like 1,000 times over in the world of big data. And honestly, the consequences can be pretty serious. See, it's not just about memory anymore. This bias is quietly seeping into the data we're all supposed to trust. The exact same unconscious shortcuts our brains take are being copied right into the systems we build. And that, well, that's a huge deal because we lean on that data to make really important decisions in business, in tech, pretty much everywhere. So you're probably wondering, how does this actually happen? Well, think about it like this. Imagine a team training a facial recognition model. If they're more accurate at labeling faces from their own ethnic group, guess what? The model learns that exact same bias. Or think about customer analytics. A team might, without even realizing it, just naturally focus on customer groups that look and act like them. And in the process, they could be completely missing out on what other really important groups are doing. Okay, so this isn't just some abstract what-if kind of problem. We're talking about the high cost of inaccuracy. This stuff has real-world consequences, and they hit right where it hurts, the bottom line. Yeah, the consequences are real, and they are costly. Let's be super clear here. We're talking about business strategies that are totally skewed, customers who feel alienated, and serious financial losses. And it all comes from a tiny cognitive bias we might not even know we have. And the thing is, this bias creates this cascade of failures. It starts with missegmenting the market. Then your predictive models, they become inaccurate. Your entire customer analysis could be built on shaky ground. What does that mean for you? It means you're leaving money on the table and your big strategies just aren't going to be as effective as you think they are. Okay, let me give you a perfect real-world example. There was this retail recommendation algorithm, right? And it was seriously underrepresenting minority customer groups. So what happened? Well, it started giving them bad recommendations. Naturally, those customers didn't buy anything, and the company ended up with this totally distorted view of who their market even was. It's a perfect illustration of the problem. So yeah, that's the problem. It's subtle, it's everywhere, and it's expensive. And here's the good news, it's solvable. So let's shift gears and talk about how we can start building a clearer picture. We need a toolkit for objectivity. This really is the million-dollar question for any team working with data, right? So how do we find this hidden bias in our own data? Because, the first step to fixing a problem is actually knowing you have one. All right, so detection really starts with being proactive. You have to audit your data sets and your models. I mean, actively look for performance gaps between different demographic groups. Ask yourself, are our sample distributions balanced? And this one's huge. Are the people annotating our data being consistent and accurate across all the different segments? Okay, so here's a simple 4-step game plan to start fighting this bias. Step 1, diversify. Get different perspectives on your data and annotation teams. It's your best defense. Step 2, balance your data. Go out and actively collect data from those underrepresented groups. Step 3, test, test, test. Test your models all the time, across every single segment to make sure they work for everybody. And finally, step 4, train your analysts. Make sure they know about unconscious biases like the cross-race effect in the first place. And this quote really says it all. You can have the most technically sound data, the most amazing algorithm, but if there are unconscious human biases baked in, your results are going to be flawed, period. It's like technology is just a mirror, right? It just reflects our own imperfections right back at us.
So, as we wrap up, it's worth remembering the cross-race effect is just one example. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other human biases are hiding out in our data? As we depend more and more on these systems to make decisions for us, we have to ask the big question: how do we make sure our data ends up seeing the world even more clearly than we do?